Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly oracle reading with me, Sarah from Divinely You. I appreciate you for tuning in. And of course, Divinely You is the idea that all aspects of you make you divinely unique. And so I'd like to invite you to settle in, ground in with me, and we're going to take a couple of deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. I feel very called this week to really have us all pull back, zoom out, detach from outside events, and really connect with ourselves and really be with ourselves. There are lots of energies this week, including a new moon, and there's already lots of events happening in the outside world, and there's going to continue to be events in the outside world. And as we zoom out and detach from those and reconnect with ourselves, we can see this new moon or be with this new moon energy, and set those intentions more from our soul and more from our heart, and really creating and manifesting the life that we want to have, or the life that we would love to be a part of. And so it feels very important to center yourself, ground yourself. You may want to revisit this video midweek just to reconnect with yourself and with the message that it has for you. So with that, let's go for the sacral chakra. Actually, let's go with the divine or the feminine wisdom. It seems to be giving some juicy messages this week. I do think I'm going to pull from that sacral chakra, but I think I want to start with the ancient feminine wisdom. And all right, we got Galatia. And this is the triangle card. Well, that's interesting. Triangle, oddly enough, is my favorite shape. And so three-sided, off the top of my head, I don't know what the 3 is in numerology, but that might be something well worth researching on the internet. But try, perhaps there's something of 3s for you this week. Maybe 3 is a number for you to be attentive to, or 3-sided, or maybe it's something to be just aware of if something's 3-sided. Of course, we can think about, a love triangle, and that can be sort of a toxic 3-sided thing. However, I think this is more positive, like something of 3s, like there's 3. I just 3 seems like a number that's going to come up maybe for y'all, for Aquarians, a lot this week. And so that feels important to share. And then let's tap into this sacral chakra oracle and see what's going on with the creative and sexual energy center. So 3 is the number to think about this week. And we got the former lovers card. I got this card last week for Aquarius because it's got that beautiful heart. So former lovers on a triangle. I still don't feel like it's about a lover's triangle. I feel like it's about there's still some stuff coming up for you about clearing showing who you are now, something about your current presence in a situation. Maybe that form lover is emerging and you're kind of like thinking about it, but then you're like, no. So you're kind of doing some back and forth with yourself. You know, triangles have multiple shapes, right? There's the equilateral, isosceles, and the right angle. I don't remember. So triangles can show up in different shapes. That feels important to say. So maybe there's, and I think I said this last week too, like maybe it's not necessarily that a former lover specifically is emerging, but the characteristics of that former lover or that former lover experience are emerging in someone new. So this is an opportunity to break the cycle. Yeah, or maybe some other situation. Like this doesn't have to necessarily mean a former boyfriend or girlfriend. This could be, or even a marriage. This could be a situation that you loved, and maybe that situation is returning, or characteristics of that situation are returning, but it's shaped differently. So you're like, it's okay this time, but maybe it's like this moment to be self-aware that it's the same thing, just a different shape or a different size. You know, just because something it looks different doesn't mean that it is different, right? So I would really invite you to tune into yourself, your self-awareness, your alignment, and is the situation, whatever it is, in alignment with you? And also be aware that the situation is occurring. If we fall into trap after trap after trap after trap, it's the same thing with just different circumstances or different people or whatever. And we don't even realize that it's the same thing, just a different shape. There's something about the shapes of the triangles that's popping up for me a lot. Like it's something is really trying to show you or tell you, like, this is a situation you've been in before. It's just a different shape. Before it was equilateral. Now it's more like an isosceles. So therefore the angles are different. So participation may be different. I don't know. All these things are coming up about the angles and the shape and the it's presenting differently so that it looks different, but you are self-aware, you're aware, you know, this is the same bullshit, different story. And to really check in with your alignment and check in with your self-awareness, your observation, your intuition. If your intuition's like, this is, yeah, but it's okay this time because it's not the same people, or it's not the same job, or it's not the same this, but it's a different shape. So check in with that intuition, look in your gut, feel into your body. Does this feel the same? I still feel uneasy. I still feel uncomfortable. I feel a little unsafe, whatever that looks like for you. I feel insecure, and all of those things. Just to be aware of, you know, and then detach from that situation. So I would really invite you this week, it's really interesting because it's just been these last couple of signs where it's coming up that there's this like band-aid, or the pulling off of the band-aid energy that'll be a part of this week that might reveal the shit you don't want to see, or the shit you've been avoiding seeing about this situation. And so, you know, who knows? And who knows, your self-awareness could be spot on, and you detaching from the situation could reveal the situation is different than you thought. Maybe sometimes we have to detach in order to allow something to come back, right? There's that whole, like, if you love them, let them go. And, you know, if they love you, they'll come back. So maybe that's going to happen. So it's always going to have a positive, or it's removing you from a situation that could have been bad for your health, mental health. So lots of kind of reveal energy, a lot of really seeing the triangle, or seeing the shape, but in a different shape, seeing the characteristics, but in a different presentation kind of energy. So yeah, and that's all just a distraction from you being with this full new moon and setting your intentions and creating the life that you want. So really tune into yourself. What's distracting you? What's keeping you from creating the intentions? What's keeping you from building the life that you want, having what you want, all of those things. So lots of crazy energy this week. It's kind of all over the place, and it's going to feel maybe a little bit of a bumpy ride, but it's all for our highest good. And so, you know, Aquarians are the innovators. We are sort of the trailblazer sign right now. And so maybe something's trying to pull you away from blazing the trail. And so be careful to not get derailed from the path, from the mission, from the purpose that you're here for. So I hope this was helpful, Aquarius. This was a lot. And, you know, sometimes it's hard for us to detach because we don't want to lose more people, or we don't want to lose the situation. But it's always for our highest good. And we always have to keep that in mind. So sending you a ton of love, and I will see you on the next reading.